Hello, and happy Saturday, everybody. My name is Jay Edgar, and we are here for Ed Talk. I promised you guys. I promised that we were going to get a Saturday stream in, and we are here for a Saturday stream. My name is Jay Edgar, and we are streaming live right now to YouTube, DLive, Twitch, Twitter, but I have no idea where to go and find that. And my Facebook page as well. We're going here live. We are taking your calls for the next hour. Maybe we'll go an hour and a half. Maybe we'll go 2 hours. Who knows? But we are taking your calls, your chat, your everything else for the next hour. And I'd like to talk about how you guys feel about the reconciliation bill and everything else that's coming back out of that, especially as it draws closer and closer and closer as we go. But this is your time, so we can talk about whatever it is that you want. We don't have to talk about the reconciliation. We don't have to talk about anything else. We can talk about whatever it is that you want. This is your time, this is your hour, and this is everything else for you. For those of you on the Instagram, if I do take a call, which we will be taking calls throughout this time, you will not be able to hear the caller. I'm pretty much using Instagram as a notification machine that we're live right now. So yeah, if you see me just kind of sitting here and you're on the Instagram right now, you're looking back at the replay and you're seeing me just sitting here, it is because there's somebody here talking into my ears, which you'll notice I've got the wired headset on too, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to hear it. For whatever reason, the wireless headset, when it's on the Discord, when it's on a Discord call, it cuts everything out. Just completely cuts everything off. It doesn't act on regular desktop audio on the Discord like it does on everything else. I want to change a couple things around over here, so give me just a minute. We'll do some on-air production over here. Because I'm going to dock the chat over here with the OBS, and then I'm going to get the Discord up here so I can see you guys. So if you are on the Discord and you want to call into the show, get into the voice chat waiting room. There's a call-in show over here. There's a text channel called Pick Me, in which at that point you will go in there and you will go with Pick Me, which I'm going to delete the one that's in there right now. So you'll go in there, you'll type in there so I can see that you're ready to go, and then get into the voice waiting room. You cannot get into the live call-in room. I will have to pull you in for that. That's just to keep things going, flowing on regularly, ready to go. So go ahead and do that. If you're on Instagram and you do want to participate in the situation we have going on there, go up to the link that is in my description and hang out in with the YouTubers and the Twitchers and the DLivers. Go hang out with all those people, and you'll see a Discord link flash through the chat every once in a while. You can go and get in the Discord from there. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Let's I think we're going to have some fun here. I think we're going to have some nice conversations going on here. By the way, also, if any of my mods from the Discord are here and are familiar with how Discord works, help the new people out as well, if you can. If you can do that, help make sure they get to the right place, they know what they're doing. Don't feel bad to ask questions in the Discord. Go in the general chat, ask the questions. The Discord mods can help. That's what they're there for. And to make sure you're not doxing each other. That's the other thing here. So yes, that's what we have going on here. What do we got going on here? Saint is saying I was late, which I probably was. Katie Z is here. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Katie Z. Randy Crush Saga is here. Hello. Eric Bowman, who is quest fanning. That's kind of like, is that kind of like Simon, who is called Peter? I don't know. I hope I don't get struck by lightning for saying that. Local YouTuber gets struck by lightning for making a sacrilegious statement on air. That would be the headline right there. Randy Crush says, yeah, so EF people on the gram. KT. Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis. Interesting enough. Okay. That's what we'll take that from here. So yeah, we got to talk about. Actually, before we do that, let's sell some of the wares here, because this is going to be another opportunity to do so. And that is, we are going to talk a little bit about Turns of Pages Productions. Actually, right now, with the fact that we're not sitting here on the deadline for the news, whether it's waiting for my guest for the Red Net show, which has become a guest show again, which I told Elaine that's not what I wanted it to be, but that's become a guest show again. At that point, we're usually facing down the news. We're waiting to do so, or in contemporary. We've got a limited window to do stuff here. I do want to talk a little bit about the website. So let's actually do that first. So let's get, where's my contemporary scene? We can use that. So this is the current face of TurnSomePagesProductions.com. In the future, in the very near future, we are hoping that at some point you will get to see, and once again on the Instagram you're not going to be able to see this, but we're hoping that in the very near future you're going to be able to see a series of news articles and a series of videos from some of your favorite creators. And I'm talking about creators like Stephen Ignoramus, John and Seawall and Midget from the Porch Boys, Wyatt and Anna Voltis from The Breakdown with Birkenhoff and Getting the Answers, two shows that Wyatt does The Breakdown with Birkenhoff, and then Anna Voltis and Wyatt together do Getting the Answers. So those are great programs to go check out. Also, Britt Salt and Freckled Liberty and Rachel Nix, all from the Freckles and Britt Show. RRC and Mrs. RRC. Yeah, hopefully somewhere in the very near future we'll get up to the goals that we want to get to, and you'll be able to see a pan of shows out here, plus some written articles as well. I've got some writers on board. They know what they're getting into. I know that we have to get content before we can reach out to advertisers. I know that. I'm not Ben Shapiro. I'm not some Jewish LA lawyer that can just come out here and say, okay, gang, okay, this is what I have here, and I'm going to sell this, and I'm going to market this, and of course, you can look at the small hat that I'm wearing here, and you know that I can go and sell this, and I can make this happen, so just give me the advertising money, and we'll go from there, okay, gang? Okay, this is what we're going to do. And he just says it so fast that they have no choice but to come back and agree. But yes, this is where it is right now, so if you want to go bookmark the page, TurnSomePagesProductions.com. You can also use the shortened link, which a domain that we also own. It is tsp-prod.com. Will bring you to the very same page. It'll actually autocomplete back into this. I want to give a big thanks to Bobby Joe as well for helping get all this set up, because buying domains, that's something I'd never done before. I don't do web development. I've never tried to do it. I did a little bit of it way back in the beginning, but that was more like a word processor than anything else. But now getting actual plugins to work and do a lot of the behind-the-scenes back-end stuff that Bobby is hoping that she can do for us, that's going to be amazing. This website, I hope, turns out even more amazing than Freedom Scoop did. So with that, you can go and check that out. I'm definitely looking forward to doing some of this and putting some of I haven't put any of my own money into this, except for I'll be getting an invoice for setting up the domains, which... Perry, we got to do that sometime very quick. I'll call Perry on Monday and make sure that all gets squared away, because I'm eager to give away the money for doing this here. But, I mean, Bobby Joe has been amazing through this entire process. At one point even offering to do it a bit pro bono for the recognition, but, you know, I don't let people work for free. Which is why we need to get some content up here so we can start getting some advertising dollars in so people aren't working for free. And maybe even, cross your fingers, get some back pay onto this thing. For people who wrote articles at the time when we didn't have advertisers. Pretty please. I don't know, we'll see. But as of right now, yeah, go check out the website. Tell a friend, tell 10 friends. This is going to be a great time. Oh, okay, that's what that is. If you guys do want to help out, let me get this in the chat here for you guys. We have the GoFundMe as well, GoFundMe.com. Help launch Turn Some Pages. If you guys want to throw a couple bucks in, that would be hugely helpful. That would be massively helpful as of right now, as we're trying. I mean, I'm not rich that I can throw a bunch of money into this thing. You guys know me. I'm a pedestrian guy. I just go in, I work a regular warehouse job every day. I come home and I yell into the microphone. I'm trying to change that a little bit with this, but I mean, that's kind of the gimmick that we're doing with Turn Some Pages Productions too. You really can go just about anywhere and find somebody who's giving you the news in a suit that costs more than most of your houses. I don't want that for people. I want people to get their news from people who've had to struggle and deal with some of the same issues that you guys have. That's one of the big things that I have going on for this, is that I want people to come out and be able to get their news from people who have gone through because we know what's important to you guys. We know what's important to you. What public policy is important to you. Is it going to be what we're doing across overseas? What rules are going to be in the parliamentarian? Or what's going to affect the dollars that are coming onto your table? That's the news that's important to you, and that's what I want to do. A lot of policy and a lot of bottom line stuff. and a lot of some of the constitutional stuff that they're overstepping right now. Some COVID stuff, some lockdown stuff, getting some stuff from individual states. That's what I want to do here. And, you know, we could use your help. You don't have to. It's not required. We'll give you a special thank you, except for the 2 people who decided to be anonymous on the front page here. But we'll give you a special thank you if you do want to pitch in a couple bucks here and there on the front page for coming back and helping us out. Holy shit, we've already got 10 people going on here. So, yeah, that's... Quest says, I forgot, is Freedom Scoop site going to redirect to turn some pages? No, unfortunately, I don't have access to the servers to do that. Jake and I are parting ways at this point, so no, Freedom Scoop is not going to be a thing that any of us are associated with anymore, unfortunately. And I have no hard feelings towards Jake either. I think Jake is an excellent guy, but he got himself into his dream job and can't dedicate the time to us anymore. But I'm thankful every day that he came into our lives, however briefly, to come in and bring all of us together and kind of put that entrepreneurial spirit into me, because I was really, at the time, I was thinking that I was just going to stay pedestrian my entire life, do some YouTube videos, not go anywhere, and not be able to do anything. But, you know, once we first had Freedom Scoop, I looked back at this and I said, you know, this will be cool. Bring some websites together, we'll get some writing on here. This is going to be a cool thing. This is going to be an amazing thing. And, yeah, unfortunately, of course, we had to part ways, and you know, you couldn't get a hold of the guy to go get stuff fixed, but, you know, that spirit was still there. That spirit was still there. And I promised all these guys that are working on this, and girls, a website. So now I'm not going to wait around for Jake anymore, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because that's the thing that I want to give to these people. Let's catch up on some of the chat here. But yeah, that's TurnSomePagesProductions.com. I'm really looking forward to this and having this come back out here. We are $1,600 away from the goal. Every dollar helps. So there again, if you want to grab the fundraiser, throw $1 in, throw $5 in. You don't have to be as generous as our anonymous sugar daddy here, which I know who that is, by the way, and I have thanked him profusely, by the way. You don't have to be as generous as that sugar daddy, but $1, a $5, a $10, it's helpful. It is. It helps get Bobby Joe paid too, and we gotta have Bobby Joe paid. Let's see, what else do we have here? Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis. Penis! Penis! Family Guy reference to getting on air without the consent of the host. Nice. Randy Crush Saga says, Quest, I came to chew bubblegum and crush, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Randy Crush Saga, don't forget that you don't have a wife who's definitely not a doctor. Okay, gang. Why don't I have the chat up here for you guys? That's what we need to do. Have the chat up here for you guys. So you guys know that this is a live chat show. Alright, back to it. Quest Fanning. Randy Crush, don't forget you don't have a wife who is definitely not a doctor. I mean, it doesn't have to be a doctor, but if you know somebody. I do get where you're going with that, but I mean, if you know somebody. Looking. Guy looking right here. Eric Bowman says, share it on Twitter. Have links for the Twitch, DLive, and Twitter. That is awesome. You can get the YouTube too, because then we'll take people into here. Arvolt is here. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Thank you, Arvolt. Welcome on in. How's the cleanup going down there, by the way, Arvolt? I know that you mentioned that you were in Mississippi, and I don't know if you got touched by the hurricane or not, because I don't know what part of Mississippi you're in. But if you did, how's the cleanup going down there? I mean, does Louisiana have power yet? Did you guys get hit at all? How's all that going down there? Because the news media doesn't cover it. All they care about is what happened in New York. Quest Fanning, I forgot, is Freedom Scoop site going to redirect to Turn Some Pages? It is not, unfortunately. And, you know, like I said, I mean, the thing with Jake is a good guy. He's a great guy, but yeah, there's just no way to come back and integrate that anymore, which is a shame because, you know, I would love to do work with the guy in the future. I know that he is busy with his dream job, so I'm happy about that, but yeah. Good evening, Arvolt. Randy and Katie are here too. Yes, they are. They're talking. And Saint was first. Saint is always first. And he called me out for not being on time too. So, yep, that was on me. Got a little bit of late start. Setting up a new scene because, you know, every time we have a power outage, which we were going through storm season for a while, so it was happening. It's happened a couple times. I'm not going to say it was happening often, but it's happened a couple times. And because I'm so used to using a laptop and having the battery there, if there is a power outage, it just goes into and it does its own shutdown mode. Whereas with the desktop, if it has a power outage, it's just off. It's gone at that point. But if it's off and it's gone at that point, then my OBS, for whatever reason, loses all of its scenes. And I have to start from scratch again. I don't know why it does that, but yeah, if I have a power outage for whatever reason, it just loses all of its scenes. And I have to reset them up. And I haven't had an Ed Talk since the last power outage either. So this is new. And yes, we have new scenes out here. I just noticed, you can see my guitar in the shot. Usually, because it's not so crisp and clear, because we don't have the big screen on here, you usually can't see what's behind me for the most part. I mean, you see the big flag. You see Optimus Prime up there, or at least the bottom half of him, but you don't see the guitar. It's out of tune, so I'm not going to wreck your ears with it. I need to tune it. I need to practice again. My best friend is a music teacher, so I need to practice. I know he would say the same thing, practice, practice, practice. He wants me to learn bar chords. A mechanic I've never been able to get to, but I want to. I want to learn. I really do. But I did play for a while, and I played bass for a little bit too. I want to learn how to play banjo. That's what I want to do. I want to learn how to play that. But I'll practice, and maybe I'll do some concerts for you at some point here. I'm more of a finger picker than anything else, but... Randy Crush Saga says, did Jake get a job at State Farm? No, and his Twitter profile actually says that he's not wearing khakis either. No, Jake actually got a job in the RNC, which I think is awesome for him because he loves that kind of stuff. He loves being in politics and he loves being in top-level politics. So he has a job in the RNC for his local region, which I'm not going to say where it is, but he has got a job in the RNC, and it's awesome for him. I love the fact that that happened for him. And that's part of the reason where I said that I can't be mad at him for having to step away from Freedom Scoop. Because this is the kind of thing that he dreams about, and that's a major accomplishment for him. I can't be mad at him for having a major accomplishment happen like that. I can't. I adapt, I move on, and we go on with the next thing. But yeah, that's awesome for him. Katie Zed says, good luck with the website. Thank you, Katie Zed, for that. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Oh, we got a donation at the same time, too. I believe that is Katie Zed. So, thank you for that. Every little bit helps. Every little bit gets us a little bit closer. Plus, we're at 420 right now, and for my libertarian friends, you know what that means. Unfortunately, CDL, I can't know what that means, but the rest of you guys do. Let's see. Eric Bowman says, haven't you gotten your Randy rate? It rhymes. Consonants. Reconciliation. Yeah, we'll be talking about... well, if you guys want to talk about reconciliation, we can do this. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, but I figured that with the budget reconciliation bearing down, I'd like to see, especially with the calls, how this is going to affect your households, especially you entirely. And I've had people on here talking about the infrastructure bill and the reconciliation bill and how this would affect the households. You know, we talked with Harvey McLeod, Cam Harless, Olive, Right Girl Problems, and who was the other one? There was, Brandon's, Sully Blue. He was the other one that was on there. Yeah, we talked about them, you know, just regular run-of-the-mill people talking about how they perceive this and how this will affect their families and their bottom lines. So, yeah, it's bearing down on us. I think it's dead in the water. I really do. I think it's done. But I know that's what left-wing Twitter wants more than anything right now is to have the budget reconciliation, because that's what they were told that they want. And that's one of the things that actually makes me nervous about society, too, is the fact that they just run on and they want what they're told to want. That's actually been a thing for as long as I can remember, too. Even when they were more liberal Democrats. When they were more, fuck the government, fuck the Bushes, fuck everybody else. Those kind of Democrats. It was still, they wanted what they were told that they wanted. Back then we were told about the evils of socialism in the Soviet Union. When we were liberal Union Democrats. So we knew that we didn't want that. We knew that we wanted Bush gone because we were told that we wanted Bush gone. We knew that we wanted the war over because we were told that we wanted the war over. Now these fucking idiots want the war to go on because some of this credit could have gone back to Trump. They think we should be in there forever just because it's an anti-Trump position. The liberal left wants what they're told that they want. They have got to know that printing $3.5 trillion can't be good for anything, even under modern monetary theory. They've got to know this. But they'll still come back and do whatever it is that they're told that they want. Eric Bowman says, yep, YouTube. Arvold, answering my question from before, the hurricane mainly affected Louisiana. Mississippi, where I am, is fine. Well, that's good. I hope the Louisiana people are rebuilding. I know that my friend Rebel with a Cause was directly in the line of fire for that, so hopefully he's doing better, but good to know that some of the watchers of this show, not many of them had to deal with the direct aftermath of that. Katie says, I shared on Twitter as well. I'm sure all my 47 follows will donate shortly. Well, thank you. That'd be awesome. And remember, you're also helping out Stephen Ignoramus too when you do this. I know that we have a lot of crossover into this. Also the Porch Boys, also the Freckles and Brit Show. This is helping all of them out too. So if you don't want to help me, okay, that's cool. But help them out too, because they're good people. They create great content and they deserve to have a website. So remember them as well. Eric Bowman says, you're growing exponentially. Yeah, we're at 10 viewers again, it looks like. So that's really cool. Plus, we have MK Ultra just popped in on the Instagram. So let's give him a wave over here. Unfortunately, if we get a call in here, then he's not going to be able to hear. Oh, he dropped off already. That's safe. Eric Bowman says, I was a bit disappointed more of my followers didn't add you. Sorry, KT. Oh, KTZ is growing exponentially. I thought I was growing exponentially. I'd like to grow exponentially, but, you know, little steps, little steps. Maybe the website will help too. Vampire Hunter D says, get a backup battery. Yes, I actually have one in my Amazon cart. I haven't put together the funding to do that yet because I'm in the middle of paying for a website. So that is on the list of something to do coming up down the line because, yes, when I built the system, Seawall suggested one for me, but it wasn't in the budget at the time. So, yeah, that's actually something I think we're going to do is get a battery backup for this. And the one that Seawall has, and I think I'm going to get the same one, has actually a USB connection to it, so it goes in and it reads. It informs the PC of the battery level of the battery pack, and then if the battery pack gets below X amount, it does the proper shutdown on the computer. So it doesn't, like, if it is out of power for a little while, it doesn't go back into the same position where you lose all your work. It actually goes through the proper shutdown procedure, which I'm sure is better for the computer than just having it lose power at some point. Let's see. You have them exported and saved, right? Actually, I don't know how to do that. So no, I don't. If I knew how to do that, I'd probably actually have the ones from the old computer still sent over here. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. I'm willing to take OBS lessons. I always am. Anything that I can do to make a more effective program for my audience, I will do. You can save them outside of OBS, then import them back in when they disappeared. Well, then I think I'm going to have to either ask somebody or do a YouTube video and figure out how to do so. Let's see, what else do we have here? Exactly why I donated exactly 20 bucks. It's 420 somewhere. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Was that Randy rate supposed to be a reference to my joke about randyfollows.com? I don't know. I haven't seen a bigfollows.com for a little while. Where did those guys go? Well, I think I saw one last week, actually. Bigfollows.com or randyfollows.com. No, Jake from State Farm and the Rogers rate or the Patrick rate. Yes, the Aaron Rodgers rate. Aaron Rodgers. What a fuckstick. I am so glad I don't do football anymore because I would probably have to scream at Aaron Rodgers at this point if I still had to contend with him. He is getting to be kind of an ass. I don't know what the Patrick rate is. I don't have network TV, so I don't know what any of that is. Funny enough, Steven and I are homies, but I gave more to your suicide fundraiser than I've given to him. Well, I'm actually very, very, very glad for that. I am so glad we got to do that, and I hope to do some more of that again. We got to raise the money for the for this fundraiser first. We got to get some of that on there. But I'm very glad I have the opportunity to do that, and I think we're going to do that again. I might, if we can get success out of this, I might actually throw a fundraiser together and see if we can't get some down payment and some moving assistance for the R-rated conservative from your friends at TurnSomePagesProduction.com, because I know that he wants to get out of Massachusetts like crazy, and I want to help him with that because I think he needs to do so. I think that's going to be good for him. Eric Bowman says UPS. What's going on with UPS? Randy Crush says, I was about to say I can make you a battery backup, but that sounds way nicer than what I can pull off. Yeah, I mean, I want to do this one right. I've just picked up cheap shit that I could get my hands on for so long. I'm actually buying, and it's the same thing with my pickup too. I mean, I want to do more of that one right, do the maintenance right off that, because, you know, it's another one of those things. I've bought crap for so many years when I was poor, whatever 300 beater I could find until it died, back when I was poor, and then maintaining it whenever I could scrape together dollars to do so. Whereas with this pickup, I have no problem throwing money at it to make sure that it keeps going forever. I want to see 300,000 miles out of it. I don't want to trade this pickup off, even if it does develop with some sort of major problem. I like my truck a lot. I think my truck is kind of cool. It's definitely loud. My neighbors definitely hate it, but I think it's kind of cool. And even if I do have to upgrade and get a bigger truck, like an F-250 or an F-350, or something with a diesel to go do stuff around the house or around my dad's house or anything else like that, I still want to keep this one because I really like this truck. It was taken care of really nicely. I'm kind of surprised that the guy that had it before me actually traded it off. I'm glad that he did, but I'm kind of surprised. Let's see. Eric Bowman says Patrick Mahomes. Okay, that's going to be the Patrick rate. The Patrick Mahomes rate. Which I know the name, but I don't know who that is offhand. I've heard the name. I believe it's a quarterback somewhere else in the league, but I don't know where. I love this song, by the way. The Ballad of the Windfish, but the remix version. Or, sorry, the Ballad of the Goddess, not the Ballad of the Windfish. Ballad of the Windfish is something else entirely. Which I don't know if there's a remix for this on this particular playlist that they're doing from YouTube. But the Ballad of the Goddess, I like that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, we got a lot of notifications going on over on Twitter. Imagine checking your Twitter while you're on air. Yeah, that's about me. Let's see, what else do we have out of here? Sabalo Robalo says, let's smoke a bowl, bro. You know what I'm going to do while we're doing this here, while we're having the conversation, is I'm actually going to change my settings, which I should have done beforehand, and we're going to make this a chatting stream. And we're going to do this on the DLive side too, actually. Edit settings. We'll switch that over for that. Those of you over on the various platforms, can you see if that has changed at this point? Let's go look. Let's check out the Twitch chat, huh? No, it's still politics. That's lame. I want to do this as a chatting one. And I thought with Restream being the paid version that we could do that on the fly, but apparently we can't. Unless I pop off and pop back on for a second. That'd be the only thing, I guess. Anyway, I mean, we could do on-air production all day if we really want to, but yeah, that's what I wanted to do off of this. Anyway, let's keep going here. But thank you, Sabalo Robalo. That's a new name. Thanks for coming in and checking us out. I can't smoke a bowl, unfortunately, because I have a CDL. That's unfortunate, because I'd like to. I enjoy doing it. when I was younger and before I had the responsibilities that I did. I really actually enjoyed it a lot. It was nice. It was calming. It was expensive as fuck. But yeah, I mean, once you get into that OSHA thing and, you know, the boss, the big guy. Oh, he might not be the big guy, but yeah, he definitely wants to use that OSHA stuff out there. Let's see. Katie Zed says everyone is trying to get out of Massachusetts. I'm actually debating taking a little trip out to Massachusetts and trying to convince a friend to get out of there with me. It's a girl, and yeah, some of that is off the side too. But you know, we don't have to talk about that right now. A Super Bowl, a Ballo Roballo. Yes, a Super Bowl would be intense. I would love to do some of that. I think that would be cool. Randy Crush Saga says, I think I'm actually going to stream tonight. I cleaned up my area mostly, and I've been meaning to get back in the game. Now that I'm my ridiculous phone, I need to show it off. I would watch that. I might actually throw a little bit of Fallout 3 on tomorrow too. Depends on if I get all the stuff that I need to get done. And I do need to put some miles on my boots again, because I skipped it last week because of the backed up sync that I tried to fix. Which is lame. You shouldn't be skipping an exercise day. You definitely shouldn't, because we're trying to get to that point. We're trying to get this little bit of stuff burned off here. We're working on it. We're eating better. We're doing better, and I think that's going to help my plea if I do try to convince my friend to come back with me. I think that's going to help that plea a lot if I burn a little bit of this off here. Definitely looking forward to that. Plus, I mean, when I met my second fiance, I was 145 pounds. 6 feet tall, 145 pounds. Now at one point here, not that long ago, I actually hit 245. And it all grows in my stomach. I don't know why it won't grow anywhere else on my body, but it all grows in my fucking stomach. I don't think I can do 145 again. I could probably do 170. I could probably make that happen, but I don't think I could do 145 again, to be completely honest. Where's my live chat? And actually, I need to get back into the Discord too, just in case. Oh, Putz is here. Putz is in the Pick Me room, so Putz, get into the call-in show waiting room. Somebody wants to help him out with that. He's in the right text chat, but I need to actually have him in the waiting room here as well. So get into the voice waiting room, Putz, if you're seeing this, and we will bring you on. So that's going to be... Oh, there he is. We got our first caller, you guys. So I'm going to pick up Putz. He is from the Real Off Hours room, and let's get him in here. Putz, you're on the air. Putz?
Yes, sir.
We got you. We got some voice here. What's on your mind today?
Sorry, just getting around the lag. Well, you were just talking about reconciliation, and I don't know a bunch about what's in the package. I know it's smoothed over 10 years, so $350 billion a year, not a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, in government terms, that's correct, but it's that on top of everything else that they do. So everything they're already doing, and they're screaming about raising the debt ceiling for, they want to add another $350 billion on top of that for 10 years.
Yeah, I find it far more concerning where the priorities are. It seems unusual that, of course, they want to skip the repeal the tax cuts discussion and move straight to spend more money discussion.
Yeah. When
they were telling us that the tax cuts were killing everybody, they just skipped right over that, and that hasn't been a priority, which seems odd. But further to that, I think the bigger problem is that we're still getting wrapped around this majority-only voting in the Senate, which is causing a And Kristen Sinema, why aren't we talking about why don't they try to get one Republican on board or two? I mean, it just seems really odd to me that we're going to continue this back and forth, and it doesn't help. I don't know where the unity conversation comes from when we're just trying to get things by slim majorities.
Well, the problem that I have with this is I don't know if there is a unity right now, and I don't think it's necessarily the society itself that can't be unified anymore. I think it's that social media has pushed so many people into their corners that if they think about unity, they get ostracized by one side or the other.
Well, and then also we have of course, the conflict that the Senate was set up to represent the states, which it doesn't do anymore.
No,
so
you're correct.
Which is another problem, because in theory the states should be saying, "Is this worth it for us?" And the House should basically be where we're having our populism is grown out of, and that system's totally broke. But the conversation, as the media of course frames it, is centered around Sinema and Manchin. It doesn't make any sense. These guys are nobodies. I mean, in the big grand scheme of things, you should be saying, "Hey, why aren't you bothering to try to get some more leftward Republicans involved?" And they're not even making a move to try to, as far as we know, and maybe they are behind closed doors, but we don't see any movement towards trying to get more people involved.
Well, and I mean, it's interesting to me enough that Republicans seem to be so unified too. If they went through the strategy that you just brought up here, actually trying to get some of the more leftward Republicans on board, they could have already ditched the filibuster at this point, which I was actually a little afraid they were going to.
Yeah, exactly. I just everything being done by slim majorities, and I'm not a fan of Obamacare, but they did. The Republicans did the same thing when they tried to ditch Obamacare, which was, a 51 vote majority, and we can ditch this thing. And it's like, well, I don't agree with it, but at the same time, I don't see how that's constructive if what we're going to end up doing is every time there's an election cycle, repealing the last person's stuff and then putting in our own agenda. I don't think it's good for us domestically, and I don't think it's good for us internationally either. We can't be supporting Russia one term and then China the next term, or an oil line from Canada one term and switching the next term. And people are going to become afraid to invest in the country and things like that. I don't quite understand how we can continue to go back and forth without causing some level of just exhaustion from supposedly our partners.
Yeah, and I almost think that we might be due for a major collapse right now, not necessarily for financial reasons or statistical reasons, but because that's probably going to be one of the few ways that we can get a little bit of unity at some point. If everybody's poor, and then we can finally make the judgment that the government did it, we can turn a lot more people against the government. Yeah, well, but obviously we know that they're hiding from that, just like Australia blaming they shut down the island, don't let anybody on. They get a COVID outbreak because they didn't secure their borders, and then they start blaming the unvaccinated when you didn't control your borders. So they're using it as a method to hide from their own accountability in maintaining the policy. And the same thing with New Zealand. They've shut down Auckland, I think, for 3 or 4 weeks now. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, some of the conversation can come back to our borders too, and some of what's going on there. And you mentioned the exhaustion and the flip-flop back and forth. We come out of one administration that was fairly hardline, not completely hardline, but fairly hardline on immigration coming through the southern border. And now we have one that's fairly open to the idea of immigration off the southern border. And everybody coming up from the South American countries comes in and says, hey, let's get as many as we can in these next 2 years before they come back and try to change their minds again.
Yeah, but some of that's media posting as well. I think, mm-hmm. I mean, obviously we give a lot of credit to the Republicans for shutting down the border, but a fair amount of what shut down the border the last 2 years was COVID.
Yep.
But stay in Mexico policy obviously makes sense. That if you've gone through 8 countries to get here, maybe you need to apply for asylum for each one of them before you come here. Type of discussion obviously makes sense, but I don't know. And it seems like, of course, the Democrats obviously they're having their own problems with trying to get support even with this reconciliation bill, but it's because the tent is too wide. It's not, they aren't quite as united as the Republicans seem to be, but that's because their tent's too wide, trying to appease both moderates and progressives.
Well, and one of the things that I actually kind of like about the fact that they are, because the text is out on both the regular infrastructure bill and the reconciliation bill. The text is actually out at this point, which I do think they tried to push this through and get it done out in a hurry so that once the text was out, nobody could see it. But, 4chaners right now, which I've got some of my concerns with 4chan as well, and whether or not it glows or not, but 4chaners are digging through this thing right now, looking line by line to see where all this money is going for, and the bipartisan bill too.
Yeah, but you'll never find anything because it's okay. We're going to put X amount of money towards, let's say, green energy. That's really vague. You got to find out, okay, who we handing the money to figure out who there's getting the kickbacks for. You can't really just go line by line and figure out. I mean, you can find some really obvious stuff.
Yeah.
But the terms are going to be really broad. They'll just hand a pile of money to HHS or something, and then say, then you guys figure out what to do with it. Next thing you find out that they're giving money to China. Like we keep talking about green energy, and you get into the conversations around solar panels. Well, we know they're all created in China. So when we say, hey, let's do a green idea, you're going, wait a second, we're just going to hand a pile of money to China. Mm-hmm. Because as a country, we can't really force companies to build solar panels here.
No.
We can incentivize it, but we can't force it.
Yeah. And some of the incentivization has come out of here. I got to let you go see if there are going to be any other callers on here. But before you head out of here, do you have any final thoughts?
No. Like I said, the reconciliation is not a big deal in my mind. It's, like I said, I just want to point out that the real concern is that we're not trying to involve both parties, and we're working by slim majorities, which means that no matter what passes, we could probably see it get repealed in 2 years. And then for 2 years, we're just going to see legal battles over the same conversation.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Putz.
Thanks.
All right, that was Putz. Thank you very much for popping in here and having the conversation with us. Let's catch back up with the live chat here. And if anybody else wants to pop in here, head on over to the Discord. The link is in the chat. And get into the Pick Me room. And you can come in and hang out with me for 5 to 10 minutes on the air as well. Let's see, what else do we have here? Eric Bowman says that battery backup, uninterrupted power supply. Okay, that's what the UPS was. I thought you were talking about United Parcel Service. Maybe having an uninterrupted power supply UPS here. Maybe. We'll see what happens with that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Randy Crush Saga says, I want to build a battery backup for my house, but even doing it myself would cost around $8,000. That is a bunch of money. You'd probably be better off investing in a generator for that kind of money. And that's continuous. You don't have to come back and charge it back up and hope for that it stays charged for a long time. You'd probably be way better off investing in that. Let's see. I want to do a smart home, but I want to do it off a Raspberry Pi. I am fascinated by the idea of a Raspberry Pi. I think that is the most fascinating piece of technology out there, and I want to do some projects with them. I want to get a bunch of them and do some projects with them. I want to do a smart house with one. I want to do the basic bitch, what the hell is it called? The emulator. I can't think of what it's called. But yeah, I want to do a video game emulator into one. Like every other basic bitch, and it's baby's first Raspberry Pi. I want to do that. I think that would be cool. But yeah, there's that. Eric Bowman says, get an electric truck, but put speakers on the outside like Tesla has done. Yeah, that doesn't fare real well in the winter in Wisconsin. That doesn't fare so well up here. I like the idea, but that doesn't fare so well here. Pat Mahomes is U of A alum. Huh, interesting. Kansas City, okay, he is a Chief. Which, how long do you think it's going to be before that name is changed? The Kansas City Chiefs. I can't imagine that goes over well. Randy Crush Saga says, I get the unbreakable windshield at the Tesla truck. Man, Elon had a bad week. There was that in the video of the SpaceX launch that looked like it hit the dome. That was what they called a rapid disassembly event. I remember that. I laughed so hard on Contemporary when we watched that video. Yes, Mission Control, it looks like we have suffered a rapid disassembly event. And then, of course, yeah, he took out what did he pull out, a 45 and shoot out the windshield of the truck that was supposed to be unbreakable? I don't think it was the windshield, though. I think it was the side window, if I remember correctly. I don't think he did the windshield. I think he did the side windows on that one. Let's see. Eric Bowen says, I checked Twitter and Twitch freezes on me. Oh, of course. Lily Rose for Prez says, I think you have to go to Twitch Manager deal. Let's check. thought that it did it automatically. It did it once before for me automatically on Restream. Let's look at the settings again. Oh. It didn't change. That's why. Now let's see if it changed. Yeah, now it changed. Huh, it didn't change on the Restream side. That's why it didn't change on the Twitch side. Hey, now we're just chatting. Hey, fuck it. We'll go for another hour at that point. If we keep the interest in the chat, we'll go for another hour, because now we're just chatting. And now we'll pull on all kinds of interesting people off of that. I'd love to have some more people who aren't necessarily fans of the show come in here and check this out and talk about the reconciliation, what they have to say about it. Because you know they're going to come in here and say, they just need to get on board and vote for it. Let's see. Eric Bowman says, you enjoy weed? Yes, I do. Do you enjoy sex and money too? I enjoy both of those things. Been a little lacking in the former, but that's also partially by my choice because, well, I got personal reasons for that. But I think we're going to hold off on that one for just a little while again. We should do a weight loss challenge over here like we did a few months back on TDI. I've gained weight since that ended. We could do that. Of course, making the cream cheese stuffed French toast on the waffle iron is not going to help on your weight loss. I can tell you that from experience. That doesn't necessarily help on that stuff. I might have it. I had one cheat day this week already. I might not have another one. I thought about it because I want some cinnamon rolls, but I have found this time through on keto, it is much easier to have a cheat meal than a cheat day. I've noticed that. Maybe it's just because I'm early on it at this point too. But like that time when I had the waffled French toast, I didn't crave a carb again, which I usually would have by this point already. And then I think, was it Wednesday morning? Yeah, Wednesday morning when I had to get out of Contemporary in a hurry. I stopped over by the Quick Trip and grabbed some Tornadoes because A, they were on sale, and B, I love to eat those fucking things. Those things are fantastic. It's not a tortilla, it's something else, but it's basically a little taquito with, I like the sausage, egg, and cheese ones, and I got the French toast ones too, but yeah, it's just a little taquito with stuff in there, and they're really easy to grab up off the shelf, and Quick Trip has them on sale for $1 a pop right now. And they are delicious. I like the pepper jack ones too. Those are fantastic, but they make me fat, so I don't eat a lot of them anymore. Well, I don't eat any of them because I'm running a low-carb diet right now. But I was in a hurry, so I grabbed a couple of them off the roller, and you know, I didn't look for carbs anymore. Quest says I'd be 100 up for that again. KT, the previous one, came at just the right time, but I've lost momentum halfway through. Interesting. See, here's a good question. Why the hell is Instagram staying on right now when it can't stay on for more than 20 minutes under normal circumstances when we're on Contemporary? Because we've been on for almost an hour at this point. Let me get the Discord back up in case somebody's on here trying to contact us. Oh, I just want to help you get your show going. Have fun. Thank you, Putz, for that. Yeah, it's... I'm having a call-in show, and then I never look at the call-in window. There could have been 10 people in there waiting to call in, and I wouldn't have seen it for the entire spiel. Randy Crush Saga says, the tax cuts miraculously almost paid for themselves in the first year when they absolutely should not have. Eric Bowman says, some items CC are funded for 10 years and others are just 4 or 5 on the assumption they'll be renewed, intentionally creating a false number. Yeah, and what did we do? We looked at the one article on Contemporary where it was the guy who called, was it the guy who called the Dow? No, it wasn't that guy, it was another guy. Another economist came out here and pointed out the fact that the price tag that we're getting for the infrastructure package is $3.5 trillion, but it could be closer to $5 or $5.5 trillion based on programs that have a sunset that are less than the initial 10 years of the infrastructure package that they assume that they'll have the power to get back and renew for another amount of money. So yes, this could very well cost much, much more than $3.5 trillion. And yeah, it's over 10 years. So there's so many variables that go on with this. There's also a cabal of baby food suckers. Oh, that's a problem too. Or baby blood suckers. That's not a thing. That's not a thing, Susan Wojcicki. There are no baby blood suckers out there. There was no cheese pie fence store in here. And all of the Democrats out there are perfectly wonderful, reasonable people, and nothing bad ever comes out of them. In fact, Joe Biden is the most popular president in history. Honk, honk, wink, wink. Katie Zed says, I was down to 158, now I'm up to 162. Still not considering I was 185 at the beginning of June. Oh, wow. Yeah, I hit about 250, and I think I have a gluten problem on top of this, which going on the low carb end actually, I think, painted that into perspective. Because if I eat bread, especially like white bread, which is like, you can go get whole wheat, anything else, but you know, all your fast food, all your burger joints, even like a fine dining burger joint like Red Robin, all their bread is on white bread. All their burgers are on white bread. And I think that's tearing up my stomach, the chemical balance of my stomach. I get heartburn so bad. And I have since I was about 19, which was actually about the time I started gaining weight too. Because my German ex-fiance got really, even though she was an ultra uber feminist out in the real world, when she was at home, she loved to play little wifey and cook for me. And it was always rich German food. All the time. A lot of beers, a lot of cheeses, and yeah, I did notice that I was gaining quite a bit off of that, but I was, you know, anytime I have white bread, I get massive heartburn. Like, I thought it was the over seasoning in the McDonald's burger patty that was doing it, because it was especially bad after eating McDonald's. But I took the bread away, and I eat the same burger, and I have no problem. Like, that's what I had for lunch today, McDonald's. 2 double cheeseburgers and a double quarter pounder with cheese, all 3 of them with no bun on them. And I'm fine. I feel great, in fact. Whereas before, if I'd eaten that same, well, I wouldn't have been able to eat that many calories at once with all the bread that's on there, but having the bread on there, I would have tried to lay down, and it felt like I was breathing fucking fire. So that's one thing that pointed off, and that's why, you know, like French toast, that's a treat for me now. That's not something I can have all the time. But once in a great while, yeah, and it tastes great. And again, I thought about doing cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls on the waffle iron, too, are amazing, by the way. There is so much chat over here, and I'm getting further and further behind. I can see it popping up on the screen. Or if they do the full $3.5 trillion, it'll actually be more like $5 trillion if you find all those items for a full 10 years. Yeah, I just talked about that. Randy says, Katie, that's almost my arc too, but with a 2 instead of a 1 at the beginning. Ooh, sorry to hear, Randy. Anyone else think the background music is too loud, or is that because it's on my headphones? I can drop it down a little bit. Yeah, all you guys gotta do is ask. We can absolutely do that. We can drop that down just a little bit. It is a little bit loud. I can see it on my monitors here. Oh, not that far. Too far! Hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. I don't have the smooth function like I have on Pretzel Rocks. The YouTube one is finicky as shit. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you. Fuck, I wish I'd seen that 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago when it came up. Because I would have fixed it 15 minutes ago. Oh, we're offline again. Let's get that fixed. Let's get that fixed in a fucking hurry. Alright, we're fixed back again. Randy Crush Saga says, but Quest, they plan to raise the taxes and tax wealth, and that definitely won't end up in lost tax revenue like it did under Obama. That never happens. That's just a right-wing conspiracy theory, you guys. That kind of stuff never, ever happens. Let's see. Randy Crush Saga says, it might be too loud. Maybe just when the beat drops. Drop that beat! I am way too vanilla to pull that off. Let's get back in the Discord. Because once again, stupid me, there could be 10 people lined up to go talk and I can't see them. Eric Bowman says, I'm 5'10", was 209, now I'm down to 194 and want to get back to 179. I was 178 and looked amazing on my wedding day. Well, West Fanny, you look amazing all the time. In April 2013, it let myself be 1 pound heavier. I let myself be 1 pound heavier. I'm guessing that's what she had to do. What he had to say there. Yeah, I mean, and I understand. I mean, yes, I had a fairly athletic job when I was in high school too, but I do understand that at this point, with turning a wrench more regularly now, instead of being in school most of the time when I was in high school, turning a wrench more regularly throughout the day, at work and everything else, and then now doing a warehouse job, shipping and receiving, I do understand I'm probably not going to get back to 145 because I've developed a large amount more muscle than I had when I was in high school. It just can't show because there's this gigantic fucking roll of fat right here. But I can look down at my arms and feel how my arms feel on a sleeve and realize that I'm probably never going to get down to that size again. Without major loss of strength and muscle mass. SSDD, right, Randy? Randy Crush Saga says, I'm not sure what SSDD means. Katie Zed says, life to the max, and Sparky showed interest in a weight loss challenge as well. Nailbender says, 4chan definitely glows. Yeah, the anonymous nature of 4chan makes it hard to know who's in there that's actually a 4chan, because I'm sure that the vast majority of the population of 4chan is still, well, let's be completely fair about 4chan. The vast majority of 4chaners are still 14-year-old fucking edgelords who want to say as much as they can get away with, and they don't have a place to do it out in the real world. They want to say Nazi and the N-word and the K-word and all these other fun words somewhere online because they're just learning their words and they want to go back out and offend people. I posit that is the vast majority of 4chaners. But in all the 4chan users, of which there are millions, it only takes 10 or 15 feds to ruin the whole fucking thing. It's like the poison M&M. You have a bowl full of M&Ms, and one of them is poison. And not just a little bit of poison that'll make you sick, but a hemlock-laced M&M that will kill you instantly upon the point that it hits your stomach. Do you eat anything in the bowl? It's that analogies. Randy Crush Saga says, I saw an article about how terrible it is that Republicans are united against the left's agenda. And I'm over here like, you mean just like the unanimous voting of Dems for the last 4 years? Yes, that's true. Yeah, there's no unity anymore. And part of it is, like I said, it's the social media. And it's the fact that so many of these people now, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with my internet? One of the big problems with it now is that social media has given so many of these people direct access to their senators, where they had to call, leave a message in the office, stuff like that. Flood the phone lines for that, and you know there could be a staffer down there somewhere below that could filter some of the messages out. But in a lot of these politicians, especially the bigger name ones, do have social media managers out there that do this for them. But for the most part, a lot of people have direct access to their representatives. I'm not talking the famous ones like Schumer, AOC Biscuit, the Crypt Keeper, people like that. They don't have direct access to their constituency, but like Brian Stile, my representative, probably directly controls his social media account, or is a lot closer to it than like Charles U. Schumer is, or Kind up by where I grew up is another one, or some of these smaller names out there. Some of these people, I'm sure they're a lot closer to their social media than a lot, but you know, then they know, okay, if I do this, I can't come home, and they get radicalized like that. Nailbender says Raspberry Pi isn't qualified to run a smart home. It's actually pretty underpowered for it. Yeah, but for a Raspberry Pi, if I could run it up to an electric motor and like open the blinds and turn on the lights or something, that'd be an interesting starter project for it. It's not something I think you're right. I don't think there's enough processor to do an entire full-size home. Maybe this sized home, which is like 600 square feet, because I have a tiny apartment in Redacted, Wisconsin. So maybe for something this size, but no, a full 2-story house in Wisconsin, no, there's no way. You're right on that. There's not enough processing power to do all that. But, like I said, just something that could go to an electric motor and open the blinds. So we get sunlight in for the carnivorous plants. And then maybe turn a couple lights on here and there. Or turn the grow lights on and off. On a schedule. That's something it could be. That's definitely something you could do with a Raspberry Pi. But yeah, no, turn the TV on, change your music as you go from room to room, stuff like that. No, you're right. There's not enough processing power for that. I should have been maybe a little bit more specific on that. Danstagram says he threw a steel ball, passenger window. Yes. I don't know anything about the reconciliation, or I would call in. Randy Crush Saga says you're going to have to change your thumbnail to a girl in a bikini to get people here who are just chatting. Does anybody have a picture of Amaranth handy? Danstagram says it's believed the integrity of the glass was compromised during the sledgehammer demonstration showing how strong the doors were, and the claim was that the doors would stop at 9mm rounds. Eric Bowman says SSDD equals same shit, different day. Katie Zed says, do I need to be on a computer to call in, or can I do it from my phone? As long as you can get into the live room, as long as you can connect to the Discord, you should be fine. So if you can go onto the Discord on your phone and tap on a voice room and enter it, you'll be fine. And yes, you're welcome to test that, even if you want to hit the general. If you go into there, you go onto the Discord side and go into the general voice room, if you just tap on where the speaker is, and pop in there, you'll know if you can do it right away or not. Because I do Discord on my phone all the time, especially while I'm driving. Because my truck, just like my headphones, treats it like a legitimate phone call. Like an actual telephone call. So the sync in my truck actually takes over the radio and makes it into a phone call while I'm driving down the road. Yeah, all you gotta do is tap the little general, tap the waiting room, and you'll know if you can do it or not. It's pretty easy. If any of the mods can go help Katie Zed, by the way, that would be awesome. Nailbender says you can do it on your phone. Just close Twitch, or it'll echo like a bitch. Then open up when you're done calling. Eric Bowman says, Krautlander! Kraut! Kraut! Oh, hey, look, I got a mod in the waiting room here. I'm going to wait and see if he does the pick me. If he wants to come on the air or not. So we'll watch for that. Nailbender says, I'm 5'8" and just under 180 right now, but I'm also jacked as fuck. Are you actually jacked as fuck, or are you the 14-year-old edgelord that says you're a 14, you're a Marine, you're special ops, you're this, you're that, you're the next thing? I'm just screwing with you, Nailbender. When I see somebody online say I'm jacked as fuck, that's the first thing that pops into my head. Let's see. Katie Zed says, what's the K word? Well, we are on a YouTube stream right now, so I'm not going to say what the K word is, but it refers to people who have a certain shaped nose and wear a certain sized hat. And it also, it rhymes with another word for halberd, possibly a pike. That K word. Alright, I'm getting mixed signals from you, Seawall. I'm getting mixed signals here. I'm going to pull you in just a second here. I'm going to catch up with a little bit of the chat here, and then I am going to pull you in. Fuck it. Neil Bender says a derogatory term for German isn't that that isn't the other N word. No, actually, I would say Kraut on air. I would say Kraut there. It's the one for the people who wear the certain sized hat. That one I'm not going to say on air, and that's the one I was talking about. Let's see. Raspberry Pi would be ideal for running a small grow up or a 3D print farm using Otco print. Oh, interesting. I've never done anything with 3D printing, so I don't know how that works. Bowman says, do you see Thomas Massey's setup? No, I haven't. Details. Nailbender says, I'm not a mod, but I can help. Seawall's here with the armored half-track in the waiting room. What's up, Seawall? Oh, I can't fucking pull you in, you fucker. Oh, But it looks like Katie Zed might be ready to go in because it looks like Seawall's in the general with her. So if you want to help out Seawall, help on out. We might be hearing from Katie Zed in just a moment. We'll see what happens. So we will watch for that for a little bit. But yeah, reconciliation. I think we might have it here. Oh, that K word. Yes, that K word. That's the one. This will be interesting. I think this will be the... Will this be the first time Katie Zed's been on air? Was she on with Steven when she was up there? I don't know. Putz is in Ed's World. Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess he wasn't in the server before. All right. While we're waiting for that, let's see what else. Yeah, I want to hear some more details about Thomas Massey's setup. By the way, I want to hear more of that. That's interesting. I mean, is it that is smartphone smart home setup? Is that what it is? All right. I'm gonna grab Katie Zed first because it looks like she's in the waiting room ready to go. Because Seawall can come in here anytime. Seawall can come in here anytime, and he has that. Oh, well, that wasn't something that I wanted to see. Oof. Oh. Thank you, Nailbender. All right, let's go. Katie Zed, you're on the air.
Hello.
Welcome. Is this the first time for you?
That sounds kinky, but yeah, I've never called in to you before.
Were you on when you were? Because I thought you guys went up and visited Steven at one point, didn't you?
A few times, actually. Well, a couple of times we went up there. He came down here for 4th of July.
Were you on the DI when you were up there?
Was I on what now? Oh,
Daily
no.
Ignoramus?
He met me, my niece and nephew both go to college in Knoxville.
Okay.
And they have a condo there. So he came down to Knoxville and met us there.
Okay.
And then the other time we were visiting my niece and nephew, and we just met halfway and had dinner together.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm going up there 2 weeks from now. I should be up there. So maybe I'll be on.
Interesting. I'm actually debating because I don't know what's going to go on with my schedule right now because they changed the way that vacation works at work right now. So I might have more vacation than I thought that I did. But I know I said at the top of the show, I'm going to head out to Massachusetts for a personal visit. But I have an uncle that's in business that lives in Nashville. So I want to go down there and talk to him about the website. And then that's only 4 hours west of where Steven is. So I'll probably swing over there too.
When is that happening? We should do a meetup.
I don't know because I have to put brakes on my truck before I do any more long-term trips because they're pulsating pretty bad. Rotors are shot.
Definitely do that. Don't die. Don't die on the way.
Well, they were already there because they actually warped when I was coming down through the Appalachians when the last time I hung out with Steven.
Yeah.
I was coming down through the mountains. What's that?
Did you visit him while he was in Tennessee, or was that when he was still in D.C.?
That was when he was the bearded basement dweller in D.C.
Gotcha.
I stayed in the basement.
Oh, okay.
I
think I had just started watching his show back then.
Yeah, I remember because you were in the chat when he was doing the guitar, because he did that full 12-hour guitar stream from the passenger seat of my truck.
Really? I don't think I realized that at the time.
Yeah. That when he did that long one on Instagram, that was out of the passenger seat of my truck.
Wow.
And I do remember him saying your name in the chat, so I believe yes, you were there for that.
I think we're planning on doing another meetup in next summer sometime in Knoxville. You should see if you can get some time off for that. That'd be fun. Just get a whole group of us together, like all of us.
Yeah, and I want to do more of that too. And when I do, because I do need to get a credit fix going on for myself because some bad stuff happened while I was living in Kenosha because that was at the bottom of the job market. But I'm almost cleaned up here. But when I do get some property, I want to make sure that I have one room big enough that we can stream from and do like the Daily Wire backstages, but for Turn Some Pages people. And actually watch a big event like a State of the Union or something right from my office.
That'd be awesome.
And get a bunch of people up there too. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you what, next time I go to Chicago, I'm planning on maybe breaking some bread with you. Drive up. I understand you don't disclose your location, but I'm assuming that it's within a few hours drive of where I grew up.
It is. I will disclose a place that's close, but I won't disclose the actual city. But I live very close to Janesville, if you know where that is.
I don't, but I do have a map.
So yeah, that's the big city that's nearest to me is Janesville. So.
All right. Yeah, I grew up on the north side of Chicago, so I go up there every now and again. Not as much as I should, but it's Chicago. Who wants to go there? You know what I'm saying? So my family comes down to see me more often than I go see them. But
yeah, I can just about imagine that. I mean, if I got how far down was I if I considered myself too close to Chicago when I was coming out? If I got past like North Chicago, I was too close to Chicago at that point when I lived in Kenosha.
I mean, as long as you don't get inside the city limits, you should be fine.
Well, I had a roommate that was from North Chicago too, and I actually thought that when he said he was from North Chicago, it was actually a part of Chicago proper. But no, that's its own municipality.
Is it?
North Chicago, yeah.
I had no idea. I grew up actually in Chicago, so I didn't get out to the suburbs very much.
Oh, Chicago proper? I am sorry to hear that.
There's a lot of people who say they're from Chicago, and then they say a name of a town that I've never heard of before. I'm like, where is that? Like, oh, like 30 miles away. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I mean...
near Wrigley Field.
Oh, wow. I've never been to that. I can actually honestly say my feet have never touched Chicago. My tires have, but my feet have never touched Chicago.
You can get all the good things about Chicago outside of Chicago, like the food, you know, that sort of stuff. Like, that's really the only reason to go to Chicago is to eat hot dogs.
Well, not my most previous ex, when my ex before that and I were starting to have problems, one day I just said, you know what, I've never been to Chicago. I'm going to drive down to Chicago and I'm going to walk around and see the sights. And then I drove down to Chicago and I couldn't find a place to park, so I turned around and came back home.
Yeah. I mean, there's some cool stuff there, but I just couldn't imagine living there again, ever. Like, I just couldn't imagine living actually in a city again, for that matter. I live now, like, maybe 40, 45 miles away from Atlanta. And if I have to go to Atlanta for any reason, I'm just dreading it. Like, there's nowhere to park. People are rude. You know, like, there's no reason to be in a city anymore, ever.
Yeah, and I felt the same way because I used to work in like downtown Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, get me the hell out of here as quick as you can.
The only time I've ever been to Milwaukee was to go to Ozfest in the 90s.
Oh, I went to that, and was it in Milwaukee? Because I always went to it in Alpine Valley, in Elkhorn.
Well, the one I went to was, I don't know if it was actually in Milwaukee. I don't remember exactly where it was, but we had to go to Wisconsin for it. I know that.
Yeah, because as far as I can remember, it was always in Elkhorn, which is far, far west of Milwaukee. That's actually closer to me than it is to Milwaukee.
Well, when you're from Chicago, anything north of the Illinois-Wisconsin border is Milwaukee. So.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this weight loss thing. You really in? You want to do this?
I don't know. I never did well on the challenges, but I mean, if the incentive is there, I would like to do that. I know I'm eating a little bit better. I want to join Noom but I want to get to a better starting point before I get there. Yeah. That's why I'm doing the keto right now. But keto does not work for me long term.
A couple of people I know in my real life have done Noom and have done really well with it.
Yeah, my sister's doing it.
I don't like paying money.
I'm losing you.
Wait. So, all right. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
I said I don't like to pay money to lose weight.
Yeah.
I just, I've tried in the past, like the Weight Watchers and all that shit, and it pisses me off every time I have to pay them. I'm like, I could do this by myself, and I have been. So Just eat less, exercise more. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. And I'm doing that. Like, I'm going out to a rock cut, I think, tomorrow, so...
Yeah, I saw your pictures from I forget where you were hiking. It was up a hill somewhere, and it was beautiful.
That was Devil's Lake. That was towards central Wisconsin, but that one costs money to get into. Rock cut over by Rockford doesn't.
I've been to Devil's Lake.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. When I was a teenager, my friends of the family had like a cabin or something up that way.
Okay.
And I went there one time with them. Small world.
Yeah. And here, when I first started hearing your name in Steven's chat, I thought you were Australian.
Really?
Yeah.
Why Australian?
I don't know. I guess I heard Australian somewhere in the mention adjacent to you, and I thought that that was you. Plus Z, of course, on top of that is the Australian way to say Z.
Yeah. All of the British colonialized places. People who speak proper English say Z instead of Z. Which is kind of one of the reasons my husband actually has been Zed for a long time, so I kind of took over his name, but and he's Mr. Zed and Mrs. Zed.
Yeah. Well, that's like Mr. RRC and Mrs. RRC.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if you want to reach out, if you want to organize something in our Discord too, feel free. Let me know what you want to do. I will organize rooms and topics for it, and if you want to get some more people on there or more people into this Discord, yeah, we can definitely do something like that.
Yeah, I just I did way better when there was a contest. I'm very competitive, so when there's a contest, I do way better. Like, ever since it ended, I've just like, you know, when the contest was going on, I would tell myself, like, there's always snacks at work. Always people bringing shit in, and I tell myself, oh, I can't because I got to weigh in tomorrow, or I can't because, you know, I'm not my goal yet. But now people bring in muffins, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'll eat a muffin. Why not? I have nobody to answer to anymore.
Yeah, they tried to do Chipotle with us over at work the other day, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't.
I'm telling you what, there's my company is kind of bougie, and it's not me at all. I kind of hate it, but they're always ordering in lunch and like taking us to these fancy restaurants, which is great if you're into that sort of thing. But I don't want to spend more time with these people than I absolutely have to. It's a Los Angeles-based company.
Yep.
They're very, very far left.
Mm-hmm.
And I can work with them and do my job and talk about work stuff, but they always want to do all this social stuff, and there's always food involved.
Yeah.
And it's food that's hard to resist. You're taking us to like Gordon Ramsay restaurants and stuff. Like, how do you not eat? It's something like that, you know?
I don't know.
So, well, I do, and it's bad. So, and then I have to talk to these people. And I can't get drunk because then I'll say what I really feel. Everyone else is drinking. Yeah.
All right. I got one more caller behind you here, so I'm gonna pull you out of here at this point. Do you have any final thoughts before we do this?
No, it was just good talking to you. I've been watching you for a very long time, and it's good to finally meet, so to speak.
Maybe at some point we'll pull you on across the board or something.
All right. I'm into it.
All right. We'll keep in touch. Take
care. All right. Talk to you. Bye.
All right. That was Katie Zed, longtime listener, first-time caller. Thank you for those thoughts off of here. Let's do one more caller here, and then at some point I got to eat dinner here tonight, although I had a big lunch, but still, at some point we got to have some dinner here. So let's listen to our saber-toothed friend Seawall. So let's go ahead and bring him in here, and let's see what he's got to say. Caller, you're on the air.
Well, howdy, Jay.
How we doing?
Doing okay. How about you?
It's been a day. It definitely has been. As frazzled as I was this morning, we're doing well now. Especially, I love talking to people. So, what's on your mind?
Nothing much. Just kind of hanging out before I got other things to worry about in about 10 minutes.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Anything major pressing, or probably not much you can share on air?
Nah, just my Saturday tabletop group.
Oh, I thought that usually started earlier on than this.
No. It starts in about 7 minutes.
Oh. Well, give me some details off of that. Like I said, I'd love to listen in on that a little bit, even though if I can't participate, listen in and kind of learn how that goes, because I know nothing about tabletop. I always did cards.
Yeah. Well, it's based on a system called Deadlands Reloaded, which is a alternate history fantasy steampunk Wild West post Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
And we're basically stripped out all the fantasy and steampunk and alternate history elements and are just using it kind of like a general Wild West tabletop game.
Okay.
So I got the party hunting down some no good dirty outlaws.
Interesting. I'd love to learn about that. Nailbender wants to know what game you're playing, but I think you just said that, didn't you? There might be a little bit of delay on the chat, so.
Oh yeah, and he also is saying that no one cares what I have to say. So. I would like to say though that Nailbender is a Fed.
Yeah. Nobody is that jacked up without having some sort of chemicals that come out of the federal government.
Exactly.
I can feel the camaraderie. I can feel the love around here.
Oh yeah. If we're not insulting each other, you then know something is wrong.
I do indeed. The reconciliation. We had some good talks about that. I mean, I titled this thing "The Reconciliation." We spent almost zero time talking about the reconciliation. I know you've had some things to say about that.
Well, has it even gone through yet? I know there was a short extension thing that was a clean bill, but the full reconciliation, they're not getting any support from the Republicans, which is expected, because Mitch's plan is basically, go on, burn your last, a nuclear option on it.
Yep. Well, that's the debt ceiling. The reconciliation is the $3.5 trillion monstrosity. Because they got Republican support for the clean bill that kept the government open for a year.
No, that one hasn't gone through. I thought it was only till the end of next month.
No, that was the end of this month, so that one has gone through. Biden signed that. Oh. That's law.
Okay, got it. And the thing is, they're trying to do. So what's the plan with the reconciliation? Are they trying to get them to waste it and let this boondoggle fail, like we all know it will? I
think that Senate Republicans are trying to get Chuck Schumer to waste the reconciliation, because reconciliation it's the name of the bill because that's what they want to use for it. Yeah. But budget reconciliation is actually a Senate procedure. Yep. That they can use to bypass the filibuster for something that's directly related to government finance.
Yeah,
like a debt ceiling raise.
Yeah, I know that one.
So what he's trying to do is, I think, trying to get Schumer to burn the budget reconciliation on the debt ceiling raise so they can't use it for the reconciliation bill that they crafted.
Yeah, and they still haven't fired that bullet yet, so...
No.
Because as I said, I do know that there was a short extension getting us through to December.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a different bill that had bipartisan support.
Yeah, that short-term extension, and that was just to buy time.
Oh, we've been on a short-term extension since Obama was in office.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep, and there are also the talks about minting the $1 trillion coin.
Yes, yeah, that's quite stupid.
I mean, that's totally not going to cause, instant, just total loss of economic stability, and send us straight into we're already in stagflation, but we're yet to reach hyper-stagflation.
Right.
And knowing my history, when a neoliberal government that is having hyperpolarization of politics suddenly starts printing money out of nowhere, it tends to end up with a very unhappy Austrian man with a small mustache taking over.
Oof. Well, mentioning that is probably a little bit cleaner than the K word I avoided saying earlier.
Oh yeah, I know how to dance around this stuff on YouTube.
They thought I was talking about Germans.
No. You're talking about the oy veys.
Well, I know that you got to get out to your game here pretty soon, and I think
We got a couple more minutes.
I think I'm going to call it out here. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here to give you any final thoughts that you have here for the night.
Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Make sure you got your backup plans ready to go, people. And I hope to see you all on the other side somehow.
I got my backup plan ready.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. And go check out the Porch Boys.
Yes, check out the Porch Boys. Show that I'm help posting every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time Zone, the real time zone. We have to pretend it's not that Eastern is the true time zone. Otherwise, John, gets his panties punched.
And also, the other announcement is you will be on the Red Net show coming up on the 11th too. So
yes,
definitely.
Actually, oh crap! Sorry, something scheduled. I think a scheduling conflict came up with that one.
Oh,
sorry, I should have mentioned that sooner.
We'll dicker on the details over that at another time.
Yeah, sorry about that. Scheduling issue came up. Something more pressing.
All right, we'll figure that out off the air. But yeah, go enjoy your game.
Yep, see you later, man.
Take care. And he's gone before I can even boom back to the waiting room. I think that's about it. And plus, we have Highleaf up here at the end here too. So welcome in, Highleaf. But I think we're gonna call it there because we've been going for what now? And we came on at 5:30, 5:32. Sorry, Saint. But we came on at 5:32. I think we've done enough here for the day. So I think we can call it a night for the night here. What do you guys think? We got some good information. We talked about the reconciliation, weight loss, Chicago, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's going to be it for the day. Let's change up the track and let's head out of here for the day. I'll be home on the 11th. Oh, maybe Saint wants to be a part of this shit show. We'll talk about that off air too. But for now, let's change up the track and let's go. Make sure I don't blast your fucking eardrums out with this like I usually do. Alright, so with that, let's get that changed out. Let's get the other music off of here. If I can find my other music. There it is. But we're going to head out of here for the day. So thank you, by the way, to everybody who came by and chatted in the live chat today. The callers as well. That always helps to make the show go out by a little bit more. To have all the callers in. We went for 90 minutes. That's a great show off of here. Great interest. Thank you, everybody who advertised this out. Got some more people on board for this. If you guys want to be a part of the show next time, make sure you guys join the Discord. Links are flying by you in the chat, so you guys can go and join that. You can follow me on Twitter. That is at EdsBlock Twitter with a 1 in place of the I. So you can come back and join me for that as well. That's an awesome time. We have a good time on here when we have Ed Talk, and it's my time to give back to you guys. So let's see, who else can we say thank you to? Say thank you to Saint, Highleaf, Randy Crush Saga, Nailbender, who I've seen more of now than I ever wanted to see before. Thank you for that. Seawall, Eric Bowman, Katie Zed. Let's see, who else is here? Who else is here? Randy Crush Saga, Danceagram. A lot of people here today. A lot of chatters here. Is that it? No, there was more than that. Saint is here. Arvold, thank you, Arvold. Vampire Hunter D, thank you for that. Who else? Enough people. Thank you, everybody. The lurkers, the listeners. Thank you, everybody who got into the live chat but didn't chat. MK Ultra for checking us out over on Instagram. Thank you, everybody here. The Instagram, for whatever reason, stayed up for the entire show this time. But yes, thank you all. We'll be back here. I'll probably do another stream tomorrow when I go through the document and go back and do that. So if you guys want to hang out with me, we'll be just chatting over on, that'll be a Twitch and DLive exclusive. So come back and check out that over there for that. Otherwise, go check out turnsofpagesproductions.com. Go check out the fundraiser. That helps everybody out here. That helps us move forward on everything else here. And we will see you next time. Until then, I am J. Edgar, and thank you for coming to my Ed Talk. We will see you next time. Take care.